before we get into the betting, let's do the daily memory. This is going to be today is what, July 21st. This is day 15 of 366. And so this one is, again, before I get back into some of the cross country memories, this one is kind of specific to July 20th. Obviously, now today's the 21st, but on July 20th in the year 2012, the movie Batman: The Dark Knight Rises premiered. Um, and that opened on the 20th. And we went to go see it the next day. We went to go see it on the 21st. Um, and there were some crazy people out there. I mean, there's always crazy people out there. But there was some lunatic that had tried to put on Joker makeup or did put on Joker makeup and went into a theater in Colorado, I think it was, and had shot a bunch of people. Um, because that's what the Joker would do, which the Joker would not do. But so that all happened, and the next day, obviously, tensions were high. People were, hey, how's it going? I'm telling my daily memory right now. Um, and so tensions were high. So me, Karen, Dave, my friend Gary, who's a big gambler with me, his daughter Laura, her children, Jarrett and Joelle, who were both um 15 at the time. They were around 15. And then our two friends, Nick and Leslie. All of us went out to. We were living in Johnstown at the time, all of us, and so all of us made the trip out to Pittsburgh to see the new Batman movie. And we all got together. We went out to Pittsburgh, got to this fantastic movie theater um, that is in Pittsburgh. It was a two story structure, and the second floor has a complete um, restaurant, or had a complete restaurant at the time. Restaurant, bar, lounge area, and all that. There'll be other memories throughout the year about this location. And we went there. We just got ourselves a table, got down to eating, had a good time. Looking forward to the movie. So we're making our way to the movie where they have these VIP seats that you can buy tickets for. And back then they had ushers there every day and would take you to your seat, and they would check your tickets to make sure, okay, are you supposed to be here? Or is this your seat and all that? So we're making our way to the VIP area, and there's restrooms, up on the second floor along the way. And so Jared, who is Laura's son at the time, and still is actually, and we passed by one of the restrooms, and he checked out. It's one of those standalone, like, handicap, diaper changing. Like, it's just one. It's just the bathroom. Like, if there's one person in it, they lock the door. No one else goes in. And so he knocks on the door to see if it's anyone's in there, and someone's like, ah. So he's like, okay. So he knows, okay, there's someone in there, so I can't go in there. And he winds up leaving. He winds up joining up with us again. And moments later, this dude comes out of the bathroom and comes up behind this 15-year-old kid, Jared, and kind of like confronts him and is like, yo, what's your fucking problem? And Jared's like, what? Like, and he's like, and the guy's like, yeah, fucking knocking on the door. And so Laura's like, "Excuse me?" The kid's mom, is like, "Excuse me? What's going on here?" And the dude essentially just attacks Laura, like out of the blue, and like grabs a hold of her. So Gary, who is Laura's father, um, jumps into the fray, grabs the guy, and like pushes him back. The dude reaches down, bites Gary, like bites him, and meanwhile, Karen and I and Dave were ahead of the group getting into the theater. So Dave is there holding open the theater door as Karen and I are moving in with me in my wheelchair. And we hear this ruckus, and all we see is ice flying everywhere because Laura's drink went flying. And Dave's holding the door, and me and Karen is like, "Go, go, go!" So Dave like lets the door go and goes running back, and he goes running into the fray. And he gets his hand up on the guy's throat and pins him up against the wall. Karen and I turn to come back down the hallway to try to see what the hell is going on here. And at this point, you think, "Well, that's pretty crazy. That must be the gist of the story." No. At that point, a guy that we've never seen before comes running out of a completely separate theater, not the one we were going into, with a gun drawn. He has a gun drawn. And he starts yelling, "Drop the gun, drop the gun." And we're like, "You have the fucking gun. Like, what are you talking about?" So Dave immediately like steps back and holds his hands up. He's like, "No gun here, no gun here. You got the gun, no gun." And so it turns out that this Yahoo that comes running out of the theater was some kind of private security guy hired by the theater, and somebody had gone into the theater, mentioned that there was a fight happening on the upstairs. He had thought there was a gun involved or something. Things could have gone horribly wrong at that point. However, you think, well, that's the whole story, right? No, that's not the whole story. Because the guy then, the security guy, having yelled, drop the gun, the people in the theater that he's coming out of, which is packed, mind you, because it was another showing of Batman, and it's still opening weekend, so it's packed. There's a few hundred people in there. All they hear is gun, gun. And a stampede. That creates a stampede of just people rushing out of the theater on the first floor. We're unaware of this at the time because we're on the second floor, and everybody is just running towards the exit on the first floor. And so then, everybody kind of gets everybody calmed down on the second floor. The dude. Next thing you know, like within moments, there's cops are showing up, and everyone's explaining, "Hey, here's what happened. Here's, they separate everybody out and are asking, okay, what happened, what happened," and the dude that confronted Jared, he's on the floor wearing with handcuffs on, and this is all happening within like 5 minutes. It's a real quick. I don't know if they had contracted and had cops out in the parking lot as well, based on what had happened the day before, or what the deal was. I don't know but the cops were there way quicker than like somebody calling them and showing up. Like they were there instantly, and nobody thought to go, "Yeah, the fucking security guy came out with a drawn gun," because that was not the concern. I mean, the guy put the gun away pretty much immediately upon realizing, no, nobody has a gun here. But it was certainly inappropriate to come running out with a gun like that. Um, but anyway, so the dude is in handcuffs. He's sitting on the floor. He's up. He's clearly drunk out of his head. And this was an early showing. We were seeing like it was like a 6, I mean, not early, but like an early evening. It was like a 6 p.m. or 6:15. We were seeing something early. Um, and he was already, like I said, totally drunk. So that in the midst of this, a lady and a child come walking down the hallway, carrying popcorn and drinks and candy and stuff like that. The kid's probably, I don't know, 6, 7, something like that. Um, uh, Thrilled, excited that he's going to go see Batman. He's skipping, and as they approach the way the theater is set up on the second floor is there's a long hallway and it leads you to kind of like this um, octagon shaped room with 6 to 8 doors around this small circle, a small octagon that lead off into the different theaters that have the VIP seating areas, and that's where all these cops and where we are and this guy's on the ground with the handcuffs and everybody. And as they come walking through there, it becomes evident this is the guy in handcuffs. This is his wife and child. It's it's his wife and child. And the wife's reaction, swear to God, the wife's reaction when she sees the husband sitting on the ground with the handcuffs is not again. Not again. With just this defeated attitude of just like, not again. Turns out that the guy is actually a pediatrician. So he's a children's doctor in Pittsburgh who has subsequently lost his license. Um, but and so then we find out about the stampede down below. They cancel the movie. They cancel the movie. Um, Everyone they have all of us come downstairs. Everyone involved. So me and Karen and Dave and Nick and Leslie and Laura and Jarrett and Joelle and Gary and everyone. We're all downstairs, and they separate all of us, and they ask us all questions just to get our stories, and obviously, I mean, all of us have the exact same story because that's what happened, and so then the movie theater was like, obviously, super apologetic, and you know they gave us free tickets to that movie, and then extra free tickets to use to whatever other movie we wanted, for the rest of the year, and then gave us vouchers for free popcorn and candy and stuff like that, and and then and then we went to go see a later Batman movie. They gave us access to that for free. Um, that was a little. It was a little. First of all, the movie as a whole was disappointing, because that's my least favorite of the Nolan Batmans. But it wasn't disappointing. It just wasn't as good as the first two. Um, but then, I think it was, Joelle had kind of a like, oh my god, someone so she wasn't really able to enjoy the movie at all, and so it kind of wrecked the whole thing. But it's 100% a crazy memory, of just an event that we went through that was, again, similar to the flood in Nebraska, that we just happened to be there when it happened. And then there's people running around with guns drawn and screaming and stampedes and drunk pediatricians and confronting 15-year-old kids and all that. And it's on YouTube. Part a portion of this is on YouTube. If you do a YouTube search for Pittsburgh movie riot or something like that, Pittsburgh movie Batman, just look on that kind of combination of words on YouTube, and it's just the security footage, so you can't really see a lot of it, but you can kind of see the guy come up and like initially on the news, it was reported that that Jared had and somehow antagonized the guy or something like that, but then it was cleared up later, although the news never really broadcast that properly. But the only thing Jared ever did was knock on the door to see if someone was in the bathroom. Um, but yeah, so you can see a security footage video of it on YouTube. Um, so there you go. So even though the movie itself wasn't able to be enjoyed by all, and it definitely took a different turn than what we had anticipated, it is a great story because we all lived, and and I doubt that we would have. I do not think that the Batman Dark Knight Rises movie would have in any way made this list during my 50th year had it not been for those events. So there you go.